Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this fine old good morning? Alrighty. Letter blue. Alrighty. So let's do this 500, then we'll get on with some spoiler talk. See, what was that again? White or blue? Eh. Let's play. Alright. Play some Dragon Spark Kill. Yeah, it's red, white, but it's got white in it. Alrighty, we go first, which is good. Nice opponents. Yeah, go ahead. Hmm. Ow. Let's see. 3, 4, 5. Why not? Alrighty. Well, that was 5. We need 20. We can get this daily done, and then after that, we will go talk about some spoilers. Hey, David, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I do my streams a little different than other content creators, usually. When it's not spoiler season, what I usually do is play against my viewers. All my land is tapped, comes in tapped, but that's fine. Let's draw a kill spell from them. Now, I don't have Urbrass Forge in this deck. We'll sack. Decline. This is a Dragon Spark kill deck. Win con is Dragon Spark Reactor and White Sun's Twilight. Perfect. Hit me for 1. What are you going to draw? I don't play meta decks. Really don't care about meta decks. Need one more land. We got it in our hand, but it comes in tapped. That's fine.
harder sometimes.
Yeah, I'm all about the jank. Nice. Thank you, opponent. Ah, you gonna play that and kill my planeswalker? No. Two, three, four, five. Yeah, you could bring something back.
I'll handle this one.
I don't get my Dragon Spark reactor.
Don't on any longer. This ends today. Have a nice trip.
We would discard.
You're coming with me.
I thought I was gonna make a sacrifice one of our mites. Alright, well, we got 11. All these decks I have made myself. And let's see. Here's the deck that I'm playing. Yeah, we got one red card in here, which is Dragon Spark Reactor. Whenever Dragon Spark Reactor or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a charge counter on Dragon Spark Reactor. And pay 4, sacrifice it. It deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to target player, and that much to a target creature. Okay. So you don't have to do it to a creature. You can do it straight to your opponent. And White Sun's Twilight makes artifact creatures. So White Sun's Twilight would trigger Dragon Spark Reactor. And this is what the deck is built around, is these two cards here. Then we got Artifact Creature and Eccentric, which has Toxic 1, which will trigger Dragon Spark. Circuit Mender will trigger Dragon Spark Reactor. We've got Farmhand in here just for the ramp. We've got Fierce Retribution, destroy target attacking creature, or you can pay 6 and just destroy a creature. We've got Lucky Offering, destroy an artifact with mana value 3 or less, and you gain 3 life. So if you have to, you can use that on one of your mites and gain 3 life. Then we got Depopulate, by invitation only, and Farewell. We have Eternal Wonders, because she can exile up to one target artifact or creature. So you can take her and exile Circuit Mender, then you'll get to draw a card, and when it comes back to the battlefield, you gain 2 more life. Or we can use her for control to try to keep our opponent's board empty. Hey, Mr. DJ Longhair, welcome. Also, David, if you see people coming in the chat here with wrenches, they are content creators. Make sure you check them out. DJ, if you don't care, drop your link in. But this is such a fun deck to play. Yeah, Circuit Mender is underrated. All right. We are going to finish doing this 500 here. Cast 20 white or blue spells. Then after that, we're going to talk about some spoilers. It's an all done in hurry. You're up early, DJ. Yeah, Dave, make sure you check him out. There's a lot of content creators that come to my channel. They all got wrenches. Oh my, what am I going to do? What am I going to do about this little 1-1? Oh, then that's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt us. Oh, okay, cool. Well, it's late for you then. We will block it. Perfect. See, that's the artifact. This is an artifact. So we're going to go ahead and heck, we're just going to wipe the board here, draw a card. We got our farewell next turn. Oh yeah, commit to the board, why don't you? All creatures, all artifacts, all graveyards. I might as well do it all. I'll gain 2 life. We don't care to lose our circuit mender. Would you like to attack opponents? Thank you. Now we get to draw a card. Land's good. Okay, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is going to be 6. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Opponent's using full control, apparently. I think we got this game, because I can only block 1. What are you going to do, opponent? You got 6 lands. You got to kill it, burn spell. Double kill! Double kill. We really didn't have to sacrifice our Drug Spark Reactor, but we got 11 poisons and -2. So that's what you call a double kill. 5 more, and then we're going to go to our 5 more spells, and then we can go to our spoiler talk. Let's get it done. Sunny Magic.
Dang, blanket.
Alrighty. Ooh. 3 tap lands. Come on. Give me my land. Oh man, we need farewell. Come on, untap land. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. Alrighty. We don't care about losing our farmhand because we're getting ready to board wipe anyway. Well, that's good. We get to draw a card too. Nice. Thank you, opponent. Now we'll get rid of this token here.
I'll fight for the entire multiverse.
They don't come back.
Have a nice trip.
Okay. I always choose 5.
Show them the edge of your blade.
What are you gonna do, opponents? That's fine. We got a farewell in this deck. Can we draw it? Nice.
I'm home.
Exile it.
This is what you get for hurting my people.
All right, that's fine. Take my stuff.
Try not to. Guards, to me.
Got something to give it indestructible? I'm gonna block it. Ag blag it. Would give me another land. Hmm. Hey, D. Lawson, what's going on? D. Lawson, he's one of my moderators. Got rid of that token. That's fine. That is fine. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight. We're going to hold off a little bit.
This is our enemy. We can win this together.
Got all the stuff back. All right, it's time for some spoiler talk. All right, we got us a pack of cards. Let's open this pack of cards. I'll go towards our vaults, 51.9. Alrighty, let's get some spoilers done now. Just give me a minute while I pull it up. Alrighty. Going to Mythic Spoilers. Alrighty. There it is. Alright, let's talk about the... Let's go over all of them again. Alright. Okay. Right now we got Cruel some Semapodge for 1 black. Demir for 1 blue, Hazard Adventure. Target player mills 4 cards. And you pay, and it's a star creature with cruel sympathies, power, and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. So you can mill your opponent or yourself, and this gets whatever, you know, whatever, however many creatures that you or your opponent has. Very good card. And this card right here, it has a lot of talk going around about it. Moonshaker Cavalry for 8, 6/6 for 8 with flying. And when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and gain +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So this requires big board presence. Not bad. Then we got another Dimir, Talon the Kindly Lord. For 2 in blue and a black. Legendary creature, Fable, Fairy Noble, with flying. Enters the battlefield, choose a number between 1 and 10. Whenever opponent casts a spell with mana value, power, or toughness equal to that chosen number, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. Very good card. Then we got Ashiok, Wicked Manipulator. For 5, with 5 loyalty. You will pay life while your library has at least that many cards in it. Exile that many cards from the top of your library instead. So you don't lose life. Instead, you lose cards. Not bad. Because look, +1, look at the top 2 cards of your library, exile one of them, and put the other one into your hand. Not bad. Then you get to -2 ability. Create 2 1/1 black nightmare creature tokens with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if a card was put into exile this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Very good. Then the -7, target player exiles top X cards of their library, where X is the total mana value of cards you own in exile. So if you got some big stuff in your deck and you exile them, you do this -7, you could actually, hey Dark Master, you could actually exile their whole entire deck. Very good. Very strong. These are Secret Lair. Then we got Torch the Tower with Bargain. Torch the Tower deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell was bargained, instead it deals 3 damage to that permanent and you get to scry. Nice. These cards are leaked. Ones we're going over right now. Lord Skitter's Blessing for 1 and a black enchantment. When Lord Skitter's Blessing enters the battlefield, it'll create a Wicked Roll token attached to target creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 when this ore is put into the graveyard for each, and each opponent loses 1 life. Then at the beginning of your draw step, if you control an enchanted creature, you lose 1 life, you draw an additional card. Not too bad. Kind of reminds me of the Phyrexian Arena. And then Heartflame Duelist, Boros. For 2 in a red, instant adventure. Heartflame Slash deals 3 damage to any target. Then you can pay the 1 in white, and instant sorcery spells you control have lifelink. Very good. Love the lifelink. Then for 8, 6 and 2 green, we have a sorcery with bargain. Look at the top 20 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them. If this spell was bargained, put the revealed cards onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put the revealed cards into your hand, then shuffle. Oh my god. Such a good card. Yeah, it has a high cost. But if you get it off late game, you can put any creature onto the battlefield with that bargain. Then we got 3 blind mice for 2 and a white. 4 chapters to it. First chapter, you create a 1/1 white mouse creature token. Second and third chapter, you create a token that's a copy of a token. That's a copy of target token you control. So that's any kind of token. You make a copy of it. Then, the last chapter is creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. Nice. Now, this card, I like this card. It's Halda's Crown of Winter. Pay 1, tap target creature. And this ability costs 1 less to activate during your turn. Very good, because we got Wandering Emperor to go with this card. You tap their creature, you play Wandering Emperor, you exile their creature. Very nice. Then you can pay 3, sacrifice it, and draw a card for each tap creature your opponents control. So your opponent attacks you, full out attacks you. You can pay 3, sacrifice this, and draw a card for each tapped creature they got. Very nice. Then we got the Mosswood Dread Knight for black and green. Dead Whispers is the 1 in black sorcery. You draw a card, you lose a life. Nah, not bad. But the other part I like, which for 1 in a green, with trample, 3/2. When it dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as a venture until your end of your next turn. So it dies, you can recast it, the venture side, and draw a card. Nice. So you get benefits from it dying, and you got to benefit from it being on the battlefield. We got Sentinel of Lost Lore for 1 and 2 green. Creature Elf Knight. When Sentinel of Lost Lore enters the battlefield, choose 1 or more. There's only 1 I don't like. Return target card you own in exile that has an adventure to your hand. So if you have this in exile, then you play this, you can get this back. Next thing it does is put target card you don't own in exile that has an adventure on the bottom of its owner's library. You don't own. So that means your opponent. Your opponent has an adventure card, and you put it on the bottom of their deck. That's okay. The last thing it does is exile target player's graveyard. Very good. Now this card right here, Automine, the Power Hammer. I like it too. For 2 and 2 red, 4/4. Nice big booty on that. And whenever an instant or sorcery cards fail, you control that targets only a single creature, deals damage to that creature. Automine deals that much damage to each opponent. Okay, let's say you got this card and this card on the battlefield. You play instant or sorcery, targets 1 of their creatures. Then you deal damage to that creature, to your opponent, and you gain life for doing that. Very good synergy right there. Raging Battle Mouse. For 1 in a red, the second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. With Celebration, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control this turn, Target creature you control gets +1/+1 to end a turn. Not too strong. Next we have for 6/6 for 6. Hornlock Well. For 1 and a blue, the owner of target attacking creature you don't control puts on top or bottom of their library. So you can bounce their creatures back to their deck. Then it has Flash, Ward 2. When you play the Flash, it enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn. So you play this on your turn. It has then it doesn't come in tapped. However, there's spells in standard right now that can untap this. But for 6, not too bad. Then we got Creature Land, Relentless Vinestalk. Enters battlefield tapped. All your creature lands enter the battlefield tapped. And pay 5, 3 generic green and a blue, and turns into a 5/5 green and blue plant creature token with trample. Nice. And whenever it attacks up to it, one other target creature has base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. Nice. Then we got Relentless Spire. Red and blue. When we pay a blue and a red, it becomes a 2/1 bird and red elemental creature token. With as long as it's your turn, this creature has first strike. It's still a land. And whenever it attacks, you get to scry one. Very nice for is it? Hey, Superfast. Drop that link in the chat there, Superfast. Now we got us a Boros land, Relentless Biovac. Enter, and it's for red or white. Pay 3, generic red white. It becomes a 2/2 red and white ox creature token with until the end of turn. It's still, but when it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, so it can target itself. And therefore, by it being a 2/2, it can turn into a 3/3. All at the same turn. Very nice. Very strong. Then we got Scalding Viper. It's is it? For Steam Clean, for 1 and a blue, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So it's another bounce spell. And then pay the 1 in red. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, this card deals 1 damage to that player. So it punishes your opponent. This card punishes your opponent for playing a card that's 3 or less. Just a hair, but not bad damage. So it's pretty good. Now, next we have for 1 black, a creature human warlock. Spiteful Hexmage. When Spiteful Hexmage enters a battlefield, create a cursed rogue token attached to target creature you control. And if you control, and then enchanted creature is a 1/1. So you turn 1 of your creatures into a 1/1. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about turning my creatures into a 1/1. So this card, I don't think it'll see play. I've got Asinine Antics. For 4, 2 generic, 2 blue. Sorcery. When you cast it, though it had flash, you pay 2 more to cast it. So it'll cost 6 if you want to use the flash ability. And for each creature your opponents control, create a cursed rogue token attached to that creature. So turn all your opponent's creatures into 1/1s. Not bad. That's pretty good. That's strong. Next we have the Song of Tortrance. For X and a red, create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block. And creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Not bad, because you can use this in any red deck, any deck that uses red. You just pay that 1 red, cast this, all your creatures gain haste. Very good. Next is a card that I like, in green, for 6. It's a 3/3 for a 6. Yeah, that's high, but Gruff Triplets. Satar Warrior with Trample. When Gruff Triplets enters the battlefield, if it isn't a token, create 2 tokens or copies of it. So you get 3 creatures for 6. And when Gruff Triplets dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the power on each creature you control named Gruff Triplets. So you get 3 of these. 1 dies. Next one turns into a 6/6. Then when it dies, you put those 6 counters on the last one. Whew, that's good. Next we have Expel the Interlopers for 5. Sorcery. Choose any number between 1 and 10. Destroy all creatures with power greater than or equal to the chosen number. Pretty good one-sided board. It can be a one-sided board wipe, which is pretty good. Then we got Spellbook Vendor for 1 and a white human peasant, 2/2 with vigilance. And then at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1. If you do, create a sorcerer rogue token attached to that creature, to target creature. And it will have gets a +1/+1 and has whenever this creature attacks, scry 1. So instant scry ability with this card. Very good. Next we have The End for 4. Now it costs 2 less to cast if your life total is 5 or less. I'd rather pay the 4. Exile target creature or planeswalker, search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that same name as that permanent and exile them. And that player shuffles and draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. That's pretty good planeswalker rate. Then we got Tanglespan Lookout for 2 and a green. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It's 2/3 for 3. Not too bad. It's alright. And we got, next up, we have Stroke of Midnight for 2 and a white. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Let's say your opponent has Shaholdred out. You got this in your hand. You pay 3. You destroy that Shaholdred. Yeah, they get a replacement for that Shaholdred, but it's only a 1/1 white human. Very good. So you replace their big old 4 or 5 Shaholdred for a 1/1. Not bad. Then we got Feral Encounter for 2 green. Sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And you may cast the exile card this turn. At the beginning of the next combat phase this turn, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power up to 1 target creature you don't control. Nice. That's a Feral Encounter is a good card. I think it's going to see a lot of play. Now we got Fairy Dream Thief, Fairy Warlock for 1 black, 1/1 with flying. And when it enters a battlefield, you get to surveil 1. Then when it dies, you pay 3, exile it from your graveyard, you draw a card, and you lose 1 life. So you get a creature, surveil. Dies, you get a draw. Not bad. And next up, we got a Food Fight for 1 and a red. Enchantment. Artifacts you control have. Pay 2, sacrifice this artifact. It deals damage to any target equal to 1 plus the number of permanents named Food Fight you control. So with this one, you get a lot of artifacts. Like let's say with Karn, for example. Not the new Karn, but the Planeswalker Karn. It puts artifacts into the battlefield. You play Food Fight. You sack those Power Stone tokens for 2. You do 1 damage. Now if you got 2 Food Fights out, that's 2 damage. Next one's 3 damage. Next one's 4 damage. So let's say you get all 4 Food Fights out, and you sack those Power Stone tokens. That's 4 damage per Power Stone token. Very good. Then we got Ramstroker Hellkite for 6 with bargain, flying, haste, 4/6. When it enters the battlefield, if it was bargain, add 4 mana of any combination of colors. For 1 in a red, it deals 1 damage to any target. Nice. Then we got Belgul Grand Squall for Adventure. Green, blue, red. And for 2 generic green, blue, red, mill 7 cards, then put all cards I have Adventure from among the mill cards into your hand. Not bad. Then you pay the 3, the green, blue, red. It's 4/4. Legendary creature, Giant Noble, has trample. Permanent spells you cast that have Adventure cost 1 less to cast. Not bad. Not bad at all. Next, we have Lord Sewer King. Rat Noble for 2 and a black. Whenever another rat enters the battlefield under you control, exile up to 1 target card from opponent's graveyard. So it's got graveyard hate. The 3/3. Now, to be no combat on your turn, create a 1/1 black rat creature token. Of course, rats cannot block. The rat tokens cannot block. We all know that. That's good. You're constantly creating rats. Very good. And this card's got a nice little booty on it. It's 3/3. Very good. It don't die to cut down. Now this one I can't hardly read because it's blurry. Princess Folly for 2 blue and a red. Saga. Chapter 1 and 2 are the same. Choose target non-land creature you control that doesn't have the same name as a token you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. And is a reflection addition to its other types and has haste. So you get 2 copies of 2 different creatures. One for chapter 1 and one for chapter 2. And they're called the reflections. In chapter 3, you have to sacrifice those reflections. Don't like having to sacrifice the reflections. Alright, next up we have Questing Druid for 1 and a green. And for 1 and a red, you get to cast the Adventure side of it. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until your next turn. You may play those cards. So you get to look at the top 2 cards. You have until the end step to play it. Not next, yeah. At your end, you have to have the 2 cards played by the end step. So you could whiff by getting something big. Or you might get something small and not whiff. Then for 1 and a green, it's a 1/1. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a +1/+1 counter on Questing Druid. Not bad. Not bad. Next we had Descent Dragon for 4, 2 and 2 and 2 red. And it's also black. So if a 2 and a black for the adventure, exile top 2 cards of target opponent's library face down. You may look at the cards and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. But can you play your mana as though they're any color? That they forgot to add that onto the card. You should be able to. Then you pay the 4/4 flying trample. Whenever attacks, you create a treasure token. So you have to use your treasures to cast your opponent's card that you exile with this card. Still not bad. Reflections are just token copies of a creature. Like, let's say you got Questing Druid down. Say you got this Descent Dragon down on the battlefield. And you got Sleep Cursed Fairy. We'll get to her in a minute. Then you play Apprentice Folly. Well, play Apprentice Folly. Play the Apprentice Folly. Then chapter 1, you make a copy of Descent Dragon. Chapter 2, you have to make a copy of a different creature. So let's say you got Sleep Cursed Fairy down. You'll make a copy of Sleep Cursed Fairy. And on the 3rd chapter, you got to sacrifice those tokens. Anyway, that's what a reflection is. It's a copy of a creature. Yeah. You have to copy a creature with a reflection. You can't copy you can't copy tokens. It has to be a creature. Next up, we got Charming Scoundrel for 2. 1 generic, 1 red, 1/1 with haste. Enters the battlefield, you choose 1. Discard a card, draw a card. Create a treasure token. Or you create a Wicked Roll token attached to target creature you control. Next up, we got it's a 3/2 for 2, 1 under black, rat. Tangled Colony. Cannot block. And when it dies, you create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with Take block, where X is the amount of damage dealt to it this turn. Nice. So let's say you got your holder out. It hits this. You create 4 rats. Nice. Sleep Cursed Fairy. Fairy Wizard for 1 blue. 3/3. Not bad. With flying, ward 2. Enters the battlefield tapped with 3 stone counters on it, though. Now you pay 1 in a blue and untap it. Slip out the back at step 3. Yeah, you might be able to save 1 like that. Good idea. Good trick. Next, we have Beseech the Mirror. 1 black, black, black. So for 4, with bargain. You search your library for sorcery. You search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. This spell was bargained. You may cast exile card without paying its mana cost. If that spell mana value is 4 or less. Then you put the exile card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. So it's more of a tutor. You had a lot of good cards in this deck. Now these we are not going to be able to get because these are the Enchanted Tales. They're not standard legal. Some of these are actually going to be banned before they even are printed. I don't think anything in standard's getting banned. But next we have for 4, a 4/4 for 4. Twinning Twins, Fairy Wizard. It has whites also, and for 1 and a white, exile target non-token creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Enter the battlefield abilities. So, good blink creature. And then, you pay the 4, has flying, vigilance, and ward 1. Not bad. I like being able to blink a creature. So you play blue, white, black, and you got Flesh Gorger out on the 33 side. You blink it, comes back at the end step as a 7/5. Pretty good. Then we got for one blue mana, a 1/1, exclusive Arter. It's Arter, has a venture, green. Pay X and a green, distribute X 1/1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. Love it. And then pay the 1 blue, and it has Prowess. Creatures with power less than Otter's power can't block it. Okay, that seems backwards, kinda. Because you cast a sorcery, it goes into exile. Then you play it, it's still going to be a 1/1. So what you want to do, since it's green and blue, you won't play Fight Rigging with this card, and then it cannot be blocked. It cannot, like Fight Rigging, give it a +1/+1, so it can't be blocked by 1/1s. And then you keep playing Fight Rigging on this card and build it up till it's unblockable. Pretty good, and it has Prowess. Next up, for 4, we have a 6/6 with Orzhov colors. For 1 and a white, you create a 1/1 white human creature token and a food token. Nice. Then you pay the 2 and a black, and the 2 and the 2 black. It's a creature, horror creature with menace and trample. Then at the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice the artifact, enchantment, or token if you don't tap this card. So this requires sacrifice ability. You have to be able to sacrifice something every turn in order to keep it untapped. Got something out there, something to keep creating tokens. Then it might be good. And there are cards out there that creates tokens. I don't know the name of the card, but there's one that you attach to a creature, and every turn you create a token. And it's white. Yin Red Tooth Regent. 2 green white, Elf Noble, 4/4. Choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. If the token isn't or untapped, Ginner, Red Tooth, Regent, then Scry 2. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, let's say you throw black in here with the gray and white. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I was thinking creatures. But anyway, you got enchantments. Say there are legendary enchantments. You can only have one on the battlefield because of legendary rule. Well, with this card, you can have multiple enchantments. And some enchantments are creatures. So you can copy your enchantment creatures. So this would be good for enchantment deck. Very good. The 4/4 for 4. Not bad. Likeness Looter. Demir. Blue black. With flying. Tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. Pay X. Likeness Looter becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with mana value X, except it has flying in this ability. Activate only as a sorcery. Yeah. Shapeshifters are fun. Alright, David. Next we have Bramble Familiar for 1 green. And for 7, 5 generic and 2 green, you can play the sorcery part of it. Mill 7 cards and put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among mill cards into the battlefield. Nice. Creature, enchantment, or land. You pay the 2, becomes a mana dork. Pay 1 and a green, discard a card, return Bramble Familiar to its owner's hand. Then you can do that mill ability again. Interesting. Very interesting. It's a good way to cheat out some creatures. But it costs 7 mana though to do that. But if you ain't got the creatures, if you ain't got the creatures in the hand, you can play them still with this ability. Yeah, this card's good. This card's good. As long as you can ramp up to 7, which ain't too hard nowadays. Green has a lot of ramp in it. Then we got Rosatiri Elemental for 1 red, 1/1 with menace. When it does combat damage to a player, put a skewer counter on this card. Then you may sacrifice it. If you do, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of skewer counters on this card. And you may play those cards this turn. What if you whiff? Good chance of whiffing on this card. Next we have, for 5, a 3/3 with flying Spectre. Spectral Mortality. When Spectral Mortality enters a battlefield, you may exile 1 or more creature cards from your graveyard. When you do, each other creature gets -X to end a turn, where X is the number of cards exiled this way. So, if you got creatures in your graveyard, you can exile them and kill your opponent's creatures. That's unusual. I have not seen that before, but it might be good. Especially if you got creatures that you don't want. Then we got a card with Skulk. For X and a blue, 0/1 human wizard. And Genghis Prodigy. Has Skulk, can be blocked by creatures with greater power. And it enters the battlefield with X11 counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Genghis Prodigy has one or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may remove a +1/+1 counter from it. If you do, draw a card. Instant card draw. Small booty on that though. It's only one booty, so kind of weak on that part. But you can always buff it up. There's ways to buff creatures up. Next we have for 5 a Virtue of Loyalty enchantment with Adventure. Pay 1 and a white. Trade a 2/2 White Knight creature token with Vigilance. Nice. I like the idea of it having a Vigilance. Then you pay the 5 for the enchantment. Then at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And untap those creatures. So you attack with those creatures. You play this. Then on your end step, they get a +1/+1 counter and they're untapped. Very nice. Hey, Decomposed. Next, we got Acorn of the Wild Rose. For 2 and 2 white, 4/4 flying. Other creatures you control that are enchanted by ores you control have flying, have base power and toughness 4/4, and have flying. Nice. I think I've done talked about Ram Scorcher Hellkite down here. Yeah. Next we have Tilly of Charmed Apple. Orzhov, 1 black and white. Legendary creature, human warlock, 2/4. Nice booty on that. 4 booty. Each creature that's enchanted by or you control can attack you or planeswalkers you control. Then at the beginning of your end step, exile. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of ores you control. Nice. Now, next we got Agatha, a Vile Cauldron. Red and a green, 1/1. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost X less to activate, where X is Agatha's, the Vile Cauldron's power. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. And then for 6, other creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample and haste to end a turn. Okay, to buff her power, all you gotta do is play, since it's getting green, has green in it, play a card that will give it, +1 counters. Then we got Halida of the Icy Crown, 2 white blue, 3/4. Legendary creature, human warlock. Whenever you tap the untapped creature your opponent controls, you may pay a 1. If you do, choose 1. Create a 4/4 elemental creature token. Put a +1 counter on each creature you control, or scry 2 and draw a card. Very good ability. Very good creature. Next, we have Elvish Artifice. 1 and a green. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this card. It only triggers once each turn. Whenever 1 or more enchantments enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It only triggers once each turn. So this card will be good in an artifact enchantment deck. It's a 0/1. So they can die real quick. Next we got a 2 and a red. Boros. For 1 and a white, you get to search your library for an aura or equipment card and reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. And for 2 and a red, double strike, human fairy. All creatures you control get +1/+0 for each aura or equipment attached to Kaline the Fade Blooded. Not bad. Next we have Aubrey, Dream Duelist, Legendary Creature, Fairy Warrior with Flash and Flying. 2/2, blue and black. Whenever another fairy enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life. Blink effects will work good with this. And your blink effects are in white. So you pretty much have to put add white in with this card here. Now let's say you got this. You got, I'm just going to say this was white. Blink this. You got this on the battlefield. You blink this. It comes back. Your opponent loses 1 life. Sire, Armont of the Redeemer for 3 green and a white 4/4. Human Knight. Legendary. When it enters the battlefield, create a monster roll. Attach to another target creature you control. And it gets +1/+1 and trample. Plus, enchanted creatures you control gets another +1/+1 while this is out on the battlefield. Nice. Then we got the Swarm Piper. Human Warlock Bard. Rakdos for 1 black and red. When a non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. That's okay. And for 1 or black, target attacking rat you control gains death touch until end of turn. Now that's good. I like being able to give my rats death touch. And right now there's a way to give them menace. So you can give them menace, death touch. Nice. Next thing we need to happen is lifelink. Or hexproof. Yeah, hexproof. Next, we got an Orzhov creature. Neva, stalked by nightmares. Legendary creature, human noble, with menace. When enters the battlefield, return target creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. So with this, you can return a creature, enchantment. Yeah, return a creature or enchantment from your graveyard back to your hand. And it's a 2/2 with menace. And whenever an enchantment you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this, on Neva, then scribe 1. So, it doesn't say nothing about discarding. No, it has to be on the battlefield. If you could just discard a enchantment, this would be broken. But it says from the battlefield. So yeah, you have to have an enchantment leave the battlefield to get the +1/+1. Next, we have a black creature with menace. Human Warlock, Conceited Witch for 2 and a black, 2/3 with adventure. And for 1 black, create a Wicked Rogue token attached to target creature you control. Not bad. Then this creature has menace. It's a 2/3. Okay, has to be blocked by 2 creatures. Not bad. Then we got Living Lantern for 1 and a blue. Construct. 0/4. Pay 1, sacrifice Living Lantern, draw a card, create a sorcerer rogue token attached up to 1 target creature you control. And a sorcerer rogue gives a creature +1/+1, and when it attacks, you get to scry. Not bad. Now, next we had John Hahn, Apprentice Sorcerer, is it? For 2 blue, red, 2/5. You get to look at the top card of your library at any time. And once each turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from the top of your library. Very good. Next, we have Fonsvane Troll. For black and green, and 2, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you create a monster roll, gets +1/+1, and trample. Pay 1, sacrifice an aura attached to this card. It turns back into a 4/4, and it gets to fight a creature you don't control. And you can only activate it as a sorcery. Not bad. And next we got for instant with bargain, 2 and a black. You may, and then if this spell was bargain, look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put up to 2 of them back on top of your library in any order, and the rest into your graveyard. Then you draw those 2 cards and lose 2 life. Yeah, it's okay. Next, we have a scout, Valkyrian Scout, Torian Gusty Explorer, the name of the card. For 1 green blue, legendary creature, Valkyrian Scout, mana dork. You tap it, add a green and a blue, not one or the other. You add both, a green and a blue. Spend this only to cast spells with mana value 5 or greater, or spells with X in their mana cost. Then for 1 blue, you can tap it, draw a card, and discard a card. It's a 1/3 creature. It's alright. Very color specific. Next, we got Gallant Pie Welder for 3. 2 and a white. Dwarf Knights. First strike with celebration. Gallant Pie Welder has double strike as long as 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn. Tokens. Say 2 tokens enter the battlefield. This will gain first strike. Now it will gain double strike. Nice. Now Sire Ginger of the Millender. Enters the battlefield, has trample and hexproof, and haste, as long as your opponent controls a planeswalker. Not bad. And whenever another artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Sire Ginger and scry 1. Pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, you gain life equal to its power. Next, I ain't going to go over this card here because it's a reprint. Glass Casket. Lert's Knight's Conquest for 5, sorcery. Sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, or tokens. Turn that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's great. Sorcery for 5 because you get to return all your creatures back to the battlefield for ever how many artifacts or enchantments or tokens that you sack. Very good. Next we got Besotted Knight for 4. 3/3 for 4. Very generic 1 white. Has adventure for 1 white. And for the 1 white, you create a royal rogue token attached to target creature you control. It gets +1/+1 and ward 1. And you pay the 4, you get a 3/3 creature. Not bad. Then next we got us another human knight, Knight the Doves, for 2 and a white, 1/3. And whenever an enchantment you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Okay, so this is talking about losing enchantments too. This one and there's another one down here. This one right here. It's black, blue, white. This card here, Neva and Knight of Doves. Both of them can 1 enchantments put into the graveyard. This gives you a 1/1 bird. This one will level up. Nice. Those two will go together. Definitely. Next is Virtual Knowledge for 5. 4 generic, 1 blue. With Adventure for 1 and a blue. Copy for 1 or blue. Copy target, activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Nice. Can't copy spells. Copy triggered or activated or triggered abilities. So not bad. And then for 5, you get to cast this enchantment side, and if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Not bad. I wish it was 4 instead of 5, but still not bad though. Still not bad. And 5 ain't too much. Next, we got us a land. Restless Cottage. Land for it's black and green, and for 2 black green it becomes a 4/4 black and green horror creature token to end a turn. Still a land. Then whenever it attacks, create a food token and exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Graveyard hate. Nice. Then we got Troublemaker Wolf for 2, a 1 and a green, a 2/2 with bargain. When it enters the battlefield, if it was bargain, exile target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. So it'll take care of it's a pretty good card because it exiles a artifact or enchantment on the battlefield that your opponent controls. Good removal. Good removal, and you get a 2/2 out of it. As long as you bargain. Not bad. Next, for 1 white, we got Break the Spell. Instant. Destroy target enchantment. If a permanent you control or a token was destroyed this way, draw a card. So with this spell here, you want to cast it on something like this. Cursed Quarter has lifelink. And when it enters the battlefield, put a cursed roll on it. The tenant creature is a 1/1. So this turns into a 1/1. Play break the spell. Destroy that cursed roll token on this creature. Turns into a 3/3. And you get to draw a card. Not bad. Not too bad. Next up, we got us a Saga for 2 and a green. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Chapter 2. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature or basic land card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Then up to 2. Then chapter 3 is up to 2 target creatures each get a +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Yeah, not too bad. It's okay. I just talked about this one. Sweet Tooth Witch. 2 and a black. Human Warlock. Enters the battlefield, create a food token. Sacrifice a food token. Pay 2, sacrifice food. And target player loses 2 life. That's a reprint. Always a reprint. They can't stop reprinting the Evolving Wilds. They need to take a little break on Evolving Wilds because we got so many Evolving Wilds and different kind of versions of it in standard right now. Then next we got a Is It card, and for 1 red, play Blow Off the Steam. Blow Off the Steam does 1 damage to any target. Yeah. 1 damage ain't too bad. You do it to the face. Then we got, then for 2 and a blue, you get to cast the Auto Wizard, creature type. And whenever you cast, that's flying, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Flocking's Familiar gets +1/+1 to end a turn. And it's a 2/2, so it turns it, so you cast an instant or sorcery, it turns into a 3/3. And the more instant sorceries you cast, the bigger it gets. That's only till the end of turn. So yeah, it's going to be playable. Next, we got Sky Beast Tracker. It's a 1/1 with reach. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, create a food. It'd be alright if the booty was bigger on this. Next up, we got a kitty cat. Warehouse Tabby for 1 black, 1/1. Whenever enchantment you control is put into the graveyard, from the battlefield, create a rat, 1/1 black rat token. You pay 1 black, Tabby gets Death Touch. Not bad. And we got Ratcatcher Trainee. 1 red with Adventure for 3. 2 in a red. Create 2 black rat tokens. Then pay the 2 for, and it'd be a 2/1. As long as your turn, Ratcatcher Trainee has first strike. It's okay. Died real easy. It's 2/1. Next, we got Rat Out. For 1 black. Up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And you create a 1/1 rat token. Yeah, they can't block, but hey, they're still rats. And you can give them menace and you can give them Death Touch. Tortoise! Blossoming Tortoise for 4. 2 green, 3/3. Enters the battlefield or attacks, mill 3 cards. Then return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And activated abilities of lands you control cost 1 less to activate. So that'll make your creature lands cost 1 less. Plus, your land creature you control get +1/+1. Not bad. Now this one I had to click on because I don't know that language. Dag blaggit. Monstrous Rage. 1 red, instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Create a monster roll attached to it. So it gets +1/+1. Nice. Now you'll find that dang card, dag blaggit. Whoa, there we are. Next, we got for 2 and 2 blue, Farsight Ritual. With bargain, for 4. Instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. If this spell was bargain, look at the top 8 instead. And put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Nice. Next, we got us another foreign card. Dag blaggit. Edgewall Inn. Land. Edgewall enters the battlefield tap. As it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Tap it at 1 mana of the chosen color. Pay 3 and tap it. Sacrifice Edgewall in, return target card with an adventure from your graveyard to your hand. I think this is a reprint. Could be wrong on that. Next, we got the Beanstalk Worm for 5. 4 and a green. 5/4. With the venture, paid 1 and a green. You may play additional land this turn. Not bad. We already got cards in standard now that allows you to play extra land. Then you pay the 5, you get a 5/4 reach creature. I think it's going to be playable. 5/4 with reach. Not bad. Next, we got Return from the Wilds for 2 and a green. Sorcery. Choose 2. Search the library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Then, or we could create a 1/1 white human creature token, or a food. And you have to choose 2 of those. I mean, you have to choose 2, so it's not bad at all. I mean, you can have life gain, you can have a 1/1 creature, or you have a tapped land. For another land for the next turn. I can see Return from the Wilds being played a little bit. Next, we got for 1 and a green, a Root Rider's Fawn. Creature, Sitar, Scout. Tap it, add a green. Pay 1, tap it, add 1 mana of any color. So basically with this, you're just taking that land that you're tapping for 1 and turning it into a different land. And tapping this creature. It's a 1/3. It's okay. We didn't have cut down in the standard would be all right. I can see cut down getting better. Next, we have a red card. Embereth Veteran Human Knight 2/1. Pay 1, sacrifice Embereth Veteran, create a young hero role token attached to a target creature. You control a role, and what it does is whenever this creature attacks, if its toughness is 3 or less, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it will put +1/+1 counters on your creatures until they turn get 3 toughness. Not too bad. Then we got Twisted Ability for 2 and a red sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Then you also get to create a Wicked Roll token attached to up to 1 target creature. And with this Wicked Roll, it gets +1/+1. Current creature does. And when this aura is put into the graveyard, each opponent loses 1 life. Not bad. Shari of Numb Depths. For 2 blue-white, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Nice. Where you tap 1 or more untapped creatures your opponents control, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. Yeah, that's a good card. Next, we have Ash Party Crasher for Boros. a red and a white. Legendary creature, human peasants. With haste. 2/2. With celebration. Whenever it attacks, if 2 or more lineland permanents are put into the battlefield under your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Ash. So it turns in. So if you have so if you had 2 things come into the battlefield when this attacks, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Nice. Next we got Ruby, Daring Tracker for a red and a green. Human Scouts. 1/2. With haste. And when it attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Ruby gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And you can tap it at a red or a green. So you can use her as a mana dork too. Next we got Greta, Sweet Tooth Scourge. When Greta enters a battlefield, create a food token. You can pay, it's cost 1 black and green. Pay a green, sacrifice a food, put a +1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Or you can pay 1 black, sacrifice a food, draw a card, and lose 1 life. Next we got the Goose Mother, Bird Hydra for X green blue. With flying, the Goose Mother enters a battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. It's already a 2/2, but you can make it bigger by paying the X cost. And when the Goose Mother enters a battlefield, create half X food tokens rounded up. Nice. And whenever Goose Mother attacks, you may sacrifice a food. If you do, draw a card. Nice. Next, we got Will and Rowan. Will, Siren of Peace. With Vigilance. Tap it, spells you cost this turn that are white or blue cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So you gotta have a lot of life gained to make this card good. Then we got Rowan, Skyron of War. For 1 black and red, legendary human wizard. Of course, Will and Rowan both human wizards. Rowan has Menace. Will has Vigilance. Anyway, back to Rowan. You tap it, spells you cast this turn that are black or red, cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you lost this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. You gotta lose life to use her ability. I ain't too fine on that. Can't get those. Alrighty, now we are up to today's spoilers. Lord Skitter's Butcher for 2 and a black, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. Create a 1/1 black rat creature token. Nice. Or you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, scry 2 and draw a card. Or creatures you control gain menace until end of turn. Nice. And this is a rat peasant also. And it's a 2/3. Nice. Another creature for rats. I'm telling y'all folks, I think rats are getting a push in here in this set. I really do. I'm seeing that's card number 8 that I've counted. That's in this set. That's just for rats. Next, we have Agatha's Soul Cauldron for 2. Legendary artifact. And with this, you may spend mana as it was mana of any color to activate the abilities of creatures you control. You may spend mana as though it was mana of any color to activate the abilities. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creatures cards exiled with Agus's Soul Cauldron. Tap it. Exile target card from a graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. Nice. So you have this on the battlefield. You kill their creature. Then you tap this. You exile that card. And then you put a +1/+1 counter on your creatures. Interesting. That's a good artifact. I'll agree with that, Stokes. Let's play some Rat Tribal. Alrighty. Let's check and see if they dropped any more. Yep, they just dropped another one. For 300 blue, Jonas Stopgap. Sorcery, bargain. This will cost 2 less to cast if it was bargain, so you can cast this for 2. Nice. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, draw a card. Not bad. I like the flavor text on this card. Just stay in there for 1 second. They ain't dropped any more. Now that I went over yesterday's spoilers and today's spoilers, in the leaks, we shall continue our next stream this afternoon from here. Now, from today and yesterday's, what is your thoughts on the new cards? Do y'all like them? Do you dislike them? Are you hyped? Are there certain cards that you like? I think I'm going to make a rat myself. I think I'm going to make a Rat Tribal for here in the arena. That will be one deck that I will be running on the 31st. Yeah, they say it's going to be a heavy enchantment theme. So enchantments are going to have more juice. Unfortunately. Enchantment's already a meta deck. But I also see rats getting some juice too. I knew that's Tortoise. I knew that super fast Tortoise. I knew you was going to want that. Just because it's a tortoise. Am I right? Blossoming Tortoise. There's quite a bit of cards in here that I want to build around. Quite a bit. I'm sure they're going to really spoil some more cards by the time that this set. I mean, before this afternoon. Right now, there's 110 cards spoiled out of 233. So there's 233 cards in this deck, in this set. Yeah, that artwork on that tortoise is sweet. Love it. Look like he's got some Mayan, or I guess you call it Mayan kind of artwork on the back of it. It's in the forest. You see trees back here all around it. Looks like a giant sea tortoise. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what it makes me think of, is the giant sea tortoise. But so far, they've only released 3 cards for today. I'm sure they're going to release them soon. It ain't going to take too long for them to release all these cards, because heck, we got the 5th when they come out on Arena. And not only that, they're going to be something. Yeah, I'm going to try to build a rat deck for Arena. I mean, I got one already made for Historic. I had one for Standard, but I deleted it. I think it's going to be time to go back to that and rebuild that rat deck. I mean, take a look at this, though. Let's see if I can find that card. Target attacking rat you control gains Death Touch for 1 under black. Rats are black. I believe so too, Stokes. Then you got this one. Toxic 1. Other rats you control have Toxic 1. So you can give your rats Toxic, and you can give them Death Touch. Plus, you can look at the top 5 cards of your library, and you may reveal any number of rat cards from among them and put them to reveal cards into your hand, with the rest on the bottom of your deck. That's good. So, you can tutor your rats with Carmax, the Rat King. You can give them Death Touch if you got red in the deck. And there's another card with Wild Color Drain that costs X and 1 red. Pay the X, you create that many rats, and it also gives all your rats haste. And with that other card, you pay the 1 black. Then they gain Death Touch. And this gives them Toxic. That's going to be good. You are not a Rat King, Squee. You're just a Goblin Noble. But, yeah. This Rat King and that 1 card gives creatures haste. That other card gives them Death Touch. Rats are going to be something. Well, it's time for me to end the stream here. I shall see everybody this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you. Later, everybody. Thanks, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for stopping by. And please, leave a like on the stream. I'd very much appreciate it. It helps the stream, helps the algorithm, helps my videos, and helps me to get discovered more. And I very much appreciate it. Later, everybody.